Hey there, beloved. I'm back again with an encouragement for you. And today I've received on my heart to share with you a message that has blessed me in the last few weeks. And I believe it will bless you too. So I want to take you to Philippians chapter 4, verse 11 to 14. And it says, "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Even so, you have done well to share with me in my present difficulty." And there's so much to unpack in just these few verses. And I want to encourage you, as always, to read the whole chapter for yourself. And I might elaborate on chapter 4 of Philippians in the future, in next videos as well, because the secrets that Paul is talking about here are also mentioned in the beginning of this chapter as well, that you can truly learn. And if you learn to apply that, it's gonna be a life changer. And what you need to know for context, if you don't know about this letter that Paul is writing, he's currently writing this letter in prison right now. So he's writing this letter to the church of Philippians while he himself is in prison right now. And in verse 11, he says that, "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have." Today, I want to share with you about contentment. Contentment is, here you can see, a skill that you can learn. Because Paul has learned to be content with whatever he has, he stopped being someone that's in need. And it's very, very interesting to see, because while he went through in this portion of the Bible, in this portion of this letter, he's mentioning how he knows what it means to have a full stomach, and he knows what it means to have an empty stomach. He knows what it means to be in a situation where it's difficult and in a situation where everything is thriving. He knows both worlds, and in every circumstance he has learned to be content and learned to be at peace in that place where he is, knowing that he is not alone in that situation. And so many times, a lot of times, some of us have a lot of battles coming after the one after the other, right? Sometimes to our own doing, sometimes outside of our own doing. And you might experience challenges one after the other every time again. And one thing stops and the other one starts. And you continue to be like, and you almost feel like you're Job right now, that you're in your Job season where you've lost everything and where maybe things are very difficult in that season, and you feel like you're in need, and that your body, your emotions, everything within you is screaming like, "Oh my goodness, I can't take this anymore." It's a lot, right? And Paul has learned that in those pressing circumstances where maybe basic needs are not present, he has learned to let the power and the strength of God be at work in him. He has learned to be at peace within his circumstances. He has learned to see God within his circumstances. And he has learned not to be discouraged by his circumstances, but to be strengthened to keep on moving forward regardless of his circumstances. And this has really encouraged me when I read this part where he says that, "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have." that is just such a blessing. What do you have in your current situation? What do you have in your current circumstances? Are you currently focusing on what you have, or are you focusing on what you don't have? Right? Because so many times we ignore the things that we have in the midst of the in the midst of the circumstances we're going through. We miss the blessings that are pouring in our lives. Sometimes this hard circumstance you're going through, you're learning a lesson. There's a process that you're going through. Sometimes it's God providing for you even though you don't have the provision for yourself. Sometimes it's God's giving you strength even though waking up every morning is already very difficult. It's when you have a loved one maybe that comes and invests in you, or some stranger that has come and blesses you. So God is always there. God is always in the midst of your circumstances with you. But do we have our eyes focused on Him to be able to see what we have received from Him? And a lot of times within our circumstances, we have the answer and the solution and the help that we need within those circumstances. But because our eyes are focused upon the storm, our eyes are focused upon what is happening around us, we forget to realize that Jesus is in the midst of your boat, and that He has given you the authority to speak towards the storm. That He has given you the authority and the blessing where He says that yes, you will have tribulations in this life, but fear not, for I have overcome the world and I have given you peace. He's given us peace in the midst of the storm. So I want to encourage you today. I do not know which circumstances you're in, and I acknowledge that it's difficult. I acknowledge that giving up seems so tempting right now. I acknowledge that while you are holding on in faith, the tears are flowing on your face and it's difficult and you feel like maybe it's best to give up. Well, today the Lord is telling you don't give up, because He is in the midst of your circumstances with you. Open your eyes and see that He is with you. Bring your circumstances to Him and let Him exchange your worries, exchange your anxiety, exchange your pain for His goodness, for His grace, for His healing, for His deliverance, for His strength, for you to continue to move forward, for that comfort and that peace. Because you know what? The enemy can do all kinds of things, but once you know the source of your life is Jesus, once you rely on Him and know that as long as you're alive, you have a purpose in this life. As long as you are breathing, as long as you are still here, God is doing something great in your life. And this season that you're in, this too shall pass. And when you learn the skill of contentment, regardless of your circumstances and the things you're going through, you're taking away the power of the enemy to torture you in that which you are going through today. When you decide, you know what, I'm putting my trust upon God, I'm living from grace, I'm living from the peace of God, and it doesn't matter what the enemy will do and how he wants to, do all the things that he wants to do. I'm going to trust the Lord, and I'm going to know that I'm taken care of. All of this will work out for my good, and I'm getting stronger. I'm building my patience, I'm building skills, I'm building the fruits of the Spirit. In the midst of what you're going through, go to the throne of grace and take what you need, and just do what you are called to do. Whatever you can do, as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as you can function, a blink, if you can blink, if you can smile, if you can do whatever you do best, still you can function. My brother, my sister, God is doing a miracle in your life, and your life is a living testimony for all those around you. And as you wait upon the Lord, He will renew your strength, and He will give you that which you need in this very season. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.